What's poppin', yo? There's been a lot of talk recently about Lil Baby's tour, quote unquote, flopping. Initially, it started off with him going on his own tour for the follow up to this album, which sold a crazy amount. The reception on the album wasn't great. People kind of thought it was mid for a Lil Baby album. Some people thought it was okay, but people weren't blown away in the way that they expected to be. So he's going on tour, and this tour started having dates canceled. The first one is that got canceled, or one of the first ones was Phoenix, Arizona. He was trying to do an arena tour. So the dates that got canceled were Phoenix, Arizona, San Diego, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, Sacramento, California, Salt Lake City, Utah, Denver, Colorado, Minneapolis, I believe that's in Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Indianapolis, Indiana, and Louisville, Kentucky. So all of these dates got canceled. A bunch of the other dates weren't selling too well, but as I posted on my Instagram, because I like to be fair, the dates that Lil Baby didn't cancel are packing out. So he is selling the dates that he intended on going on. Also, we look at the lineup on this. The Kid Laroi pulled out, and I'm guessing the Kid Laroi was not used, but was a help to try to push over the hump of selling tickets in certain markets, such as San Diego, probably Salt Lake City as well. They thought maybe Kid Laroi would bring out more of a crowd there, but it wasn't enough for it to make sense for them to go there. But then when you see the supporting acts, you've got Glorilla, Gloss Up, which is kind of like a Glorilla, just not as popular. It's a female rapper, Rilo Rodriguez, and someone named Huncho. When I look at this is a Lil Baby tour entirely. Glorilla, I don't even know if she's been on her own solo tour yet. But the criticisms, I believe, are valid. Where people start to give defense for Lil Babies when they say, oh, Lil Baby's charging too much, that's why people aren't going. I think 21 Savage's manager was replying under an academics post, and he gave some context, which he gave some fair context saying, oh, people are getting out of the pandemic and people were hyped to go on tours in 2021, but now we're in kind of like a recession and there's money issues and a lot of people are going on tour at the same time, etc., which he has a point, but it's still no excuse because it doesn't matter who's going on tour right now. If Lil Baby is the superstar that they wanted us to believe he is, then it doesn't matter who's going on tour. You think if Ye drops a tour right now, everyone's going on tour. If Ye decides to go on tour, do you think he's going to have issues selling out? No. Drake, obviously, we're seeing he's absolutely killing it. Who else is big? Travis Scott, he's about to go on tour. Do you think he's going to have a problem with everyone else going on tour? No. If Playboi Carti decided to go on tour right now, do you think he's going to have that problem? No. Lil Uzi Vert, we're still going to see right now. I think he's supposed to be going on tour. So no, I don't think that's the problem. I don't think it's the payment. I just think there's multiple elements to it. So for example, Taylor Swift, she's breaking records. People are paying a ton of money. And these people are probably also not struggling financially, but it's putting a hole in their pockets, almost no matter who you are, to go to a Taylor Swift concert, even if you're getting regular tickets. But they're still doing it because they find the experience of going to that concert that valuable. The biggest problem here is the value proposition. It's not the price. It's not everyone else going on tour. And people don't want to admit it. Lil Baby is not a superstar, number one. And number two, Lil Baby's tour or shows are not valuable enough for people to warrant going to them. That's simply it. That's the only argument that can be made, which is Lil Baby's fault or Lil Baby's problem. His shows clearly haven't been memorable. I also think this applies to the frequency that someone is touring. So Lil Baby, I'm pretty sure he just got off a tour maybe a year ago with Lil Durk. So people saw Lil Baby and Lil Durk. Probably wasn't the greatest performance. I don't know. I'm not going to knock them, but it's not, you don't hear about Lil Baby shows the way you heard about Travis Scott shows or the way you hear about Cardi shows, and that's where I'm judging it by. So people went, and they're like, hold on, I saw Lil Durk and Lil Baby for the same price or maybe less of a price. Why would I go see Lil Baby again this year with new material that I probably didn't even like too much And the show wasn't all that crazy. It wasn't an unforgettable experience that I have to see again. Like Taylor Swift, the last time she went on tour was years ago. So there is this Drake, last time he went on tour was years ago. So So there is this element of people saying, okay, we haven't seen you in a long time. We want to see you now. If you're touring every year, you're not going to sell the same amount. That's just completely fair. Or actually, is there an example of that? Someone that's just constantly touring year after year? I think it's rare, especially once you get to the higher levels, considering it takes a certain amount of time just to make the album and all the other engagements that artists have to do. But this is Lil Baby's problem. You guys tried to tell me Lil Baby was a superstar. I said he wasn't. And I also don't think Lil Baby's music touches a diverse enough people, or touches like their soul, I guess, in a way that would make them want to show out. Because Playboi Carti, I'm pretty sure he sold an arena in Salt Lake City, Utah, at least the floor. So he didn't cancel his show. And Salt Lake City, Utah, use it because it's a pretty much predominantly, almost exclusively white city. And that's the crossover effect that Playboi Carti has had. So you can't say, oh, it's because Lil Baby's not white. Neither is Playboi Carti, but he's been able to amass an audience that would show out for him there. I'm pretty sure Drake. Is Drake going there? Drake and 21? So if they're able to do it, then what's holding Lil Baby back? And the truth is, it's not valuable enough for people to want to go to his show. I like Lil Baby. Now, I do think he's overrated. I've said this since forever. That doesn't mean I think he's bad. I think he's very skilled. There is no ounce of me that has ever said, yo, I kind of want to go see Lil Baby live. Never. It's never even come to my mind. Now, I barely go to live shows in general, but the thought crosses my mind. For instance, I'll say to myself, yeah, I wonder what Lil Uzi's like live. Or Kodak Black, no, I haven't even thought about that either. Or I wonder what Playboi Carti is like live, especially with how crazy. Or I wonder how Yeet is live. Or even Sofago, I thought about it. I was like, oh, I wonder how that guy performs. But never. Or Gunna 2. Young Thug, I've seen, but that was years and years, ages ago. But Lil Baby, as big as he is, that thought has never come across my mind. And there's got to be a reason for it. Lil Baby is just kind of boring when you think about it. He doesn't have that much charisma. His music is good, and that's something that a lot of people are missing. But just think about if DaBaby, for instance, if DaBaby was at the level that Lil Baby was at, and DaBaby sold 300 plus K, and DaBaby had the trajectory that Lil Baby had, do you think DaBaby would be selling more tickets? I think he would. Because DaBaby has that charisma factor. He's got that energy. He's got something's going to happen at a show that you don't want to miss, whether it's somebody getting slapped, somebody getting jumped, somebody getting stomped. Thankfully, nobody getting shot. But that just goes to show that I'm not buying these excuses. Like, competition in the market makes sense for people that are mid. The highest products, recession or not, Apple's still going to be killing it. Amazon's still going to be killing it. Samsung is still going to be killing it because they're at the top. It's the people that are mid, or the companies that, aren't holding on too well, that get eaten up. Same way with artists. The top artists are going to sell no matter what the competition is. So Lil Baby is not a top draw, at least when it comes to, not the public, but at least when it comes to superstar level and tours. I do think his songs perform well, but that just goes to show, if your songs are doing so well and your album's selling so well, why aren't people showing up? Moneybagg Yo is someone else I'm going to be looking at. When his album drops, I want to see those numbers, and I want to see if he even does a tour. People like, I don't think Moneybagg Yo should be doing a tour, unless he's doing smaller venues, because it's better for him to do like maybe 5,000 people venues, or 5,000 person venues, and then it's sold out everywhere, as opposed to him trying to do what Lil Baby did. I think they just shot further than they could have. That's pretty much what I have to say about Lil Baby. No excuse here. He needs to step it up, or some people need to understand that they're not touring acts, and that's okay. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you give an excuse to Lil Baby or what? Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.